Hi, Johnny. How you doing? Welcome. How you doing, man? What's happening? Oh, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a good week. So good to see you. Well. So, while we're waiting for people to trickle in, I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a very good week thus far for me. It's been very chill. Thank you for the question, Johnny. Yeah, it's been good. No complaints over here. I'm getting ready to because I'm leaving for a trip for 3 weeks. So that's coming up. I've been cleaning out the house. I cleaned out all of my closets. I had three huge bags of clothing that I just donated. I've been selling things, so it's just been weird. I've been in this like massive cleansing, clearing kind of stage, which has been feeling very nice, and the energy in the house is a lot more flowy, if you like. But I do know that we've got a new moon coming up, so maybe that's why I get these impulses around like new moons and full moons to like clean out my whole house. So that tend to happen. But yeah, welcome everybody. Hi guys. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just having a tea, by the way. Mm. All right. So I see a few people have joined finally. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome. Happy Thursday. So sending you guys already so much love to start with. So how exciting. So for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Jacqueline. I do these once a week, usually on Fridays. But tomorrow I'm teaching a class, so it's going to clash time. So I decided to do it today. And so essentially, it's very easy how it works today. I'm going to start off with a group reading so everybody gets something, and then I will go with the one on one readings. Now, if somebody offers a donation, essentially you just get a longer reading, you lock your position in, depending on how many people are here. There's not a lot of people on today, but usually that can take a little bit of time, depending, but I will always get to everybody usually for the one on ones. So we'll see. But I've only got 4 people today, so that's totally fine, and that's perfect. It's exactly how it should be. So I'm going to start off with the group reading. This essentially is just giving out the energy of the next week coming, what's going on. Hi, Yanessa, good to see you. Just to give us, an understanding of what's happening. Oftentimes, by the way, guys, when I do the group readings, you will notice that it'll link up somehow to the one-on-ones as well. There's always some sort of like leak into that. So I'm not sure how. Hi, Karen, welcome. So let's begin. I'm going to start with the group reading, guys. So if you want to hear something from your guides or from your spiritual team, just send them over my way. Just say, hey, tell her to tell me something. So give me a second just to tune in. And let's see what comes up. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all had a good week thus far. I feel like the energies are slowing down a little bit. Like I said, I am getting ready to go overseas for 3 weeks, so it's a little bit stressful for me because I have to take care of all the animals. I have a little rescue. I have pet sitters, but it's always like scary to let someone take care of your babies, and you just hope that they do the best job. Of course, I vetted them very well, but I've had bad experiences still, even with people that you think you can trust. So I am just prepping and doing everything I can to make it easy for them so that they can't mess up anything. I'm making like videos to show them how I do my routines. I made them like a whole list of like food and like what they can and cannot eat. I went all out. So hopefully everything is good. Woo, here we go. All right. Okay. One more card. There it is. Okay. Welcome. All right. So the first card that we got is Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. Our relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. So what I'm hearing here essentially is that I'm feeling like something new is coming in for some of us. There is like a new shift, a new energy upgrade. And I feel like some of us, I know for myself, this is what I've been feeling really strongly, that there needs to be some kind of a shift. And excuse me. So that shift, that intention, that seed, that desire is starting to have a ripple effect out, like the cause and effect. And I'm seeing something beginning to change physically. So this could be attracting, like it said, like a new friendship, or it could be a new job, a new opportunity, a new connection. essentially something new is coming in. Um, okay, I'm not hearing anything else about that. Then we got the wheel. I love the wheel. A time of positive change, the situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So what I'm hearing here essentially is that no matter what, this is a really good thing. I think this is finally something positive. So I feel like if for some of us we've been having like a little bit of a hard time and things has just been a little bit challenging or a little bit stagnant, a little bit difficult, you feel like things aren't really going your way, this is telling you finally things are about to move in a different direction for you. There are some things that finally are going to flow a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit easier, a little bit smoother. So if you guys have been having a hard time and stuff like that, just so you know, the cards are letting you know this. And then finances, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Okay, so I feel like this is also maybe a symbol for some of you who have been trying to rebalance your finances. I know I've been very, for me this year, it's been very interesting. Um, and I I'm definitely, I feel like what I've been feeling intuitively for me, and I don't know if this is something for you, I've been rewiring my money beliefs and I've been shifting the energies around that. So hopefully this means opportunities or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. I even hired like a coach to help me out with this. So I feel like for some of you guys, it could also just be energy. It doesn't necessarily always mean like money, okay? Because if you're financially stable and everything's great, nothing wrong with asking a little bit more money, by the way. But I feel like it's more about like even like your energy when you go to work, how drained you are or how not drained you are. You know, maybe being more balanced in how you give and take energy, because you got to remember that's what money is as well. And for some of you, could also literally mean money, okay? Actual money. I know for me, this is definitely going to be about money because I'm good with my energy. So rewiring that, that program that we have with money and reestablishing a new program with that. So what I've been doing now is I've been starting to do affirmations in the mirror, and I've been saying certain specific words to myself in the mirror. The other thing that I've been doing, for instance, as well, like I tend to have really negative thoughts first thing in the morning. For some reason, it's just how my brain is wired because I used to be a very pessimistic, depressed person. So I've been talking to my mind lately and I say, can you please not have these thoughts? These thoughts are not serving me. Can you please think of something that makes me feel good? I literally say that to my mind because it's been so bad. Like I wake up thinking about animal torture things or like really messed up things. Some of my animals that have passed away. It's always animals because I'm always around animals and it's something that I really am sensitive about. But I literally anytime, this negative thing, because your brain tends to go back to traumas or doom case scenarios, which has been happening to me a lot. And especially with my family, sometimes I'll like play out these scenes that haven't even happened, but I'm like expecting the worst. And so it's like this argument that I'm having with them that is not even happening. So then I'll catch it again and I'll say, hey, like, no, can you please think of something that is actually empowering and like balancing? So I've been doing this a lot and I've been noticing that my brain goes from a very tense place to like actually relaxing because it wants to work with you, it wants to actually serve you. But we have to learn to establish a new relationship with it. So this is also what I'm hearing here. There's a lot of opportunities to reestablish your relationships, either with your mind, with your finances, with your relationships, with your circumstances or situations, but you have to really do the work. And that's the hard part because we think about it, but then we don't actually apply it. So the applying it is actually being repetitive and being consistent and actually doing it no matter how uncomfortable or weird it makes you feel. Like I said, I'm doing affirmations in the mirror right now. There's a whole these downloads that I'm getting on new mirror work that I'm going to start doing. Um, so essentially, it's all about just doing it, and weird or not weird, if it works, who cares? That's always my motto. So yeah, but it's a good. I feel like it's a good. Essentially, the message, the group message here is I feel like there's some changes and some shifts, but of course that also requires you to do some of that work. Don't just expect things to like come to you like that. You know. Cool. Well, I hope that resonated with some of you guys. So now, if you guys anyone would like a reading, feel free, ask a question. I'm so obsessed with this new like superfood creamer that I got. I don't know why it makes me feel really good. So if anybody has any questions, feel free. Let me know. You can also just put your name down if you're interested in the reading. So up to you guys. And if not, I can talk about whatever. I'm always happy to talk about whatever. Um, is it Laird's? I don't know what Laird's is. Is that a brand of like a creamer? Is that what you're saying? Oh, if it's not vegan, then probably not. This one's vegan. So I got it at the supermarket. I just saw it and I thought it was good. I'm not sure what the brand is. But yeah, I want to find like a better one that's like, I mean, I like it, but I want to find one that's better. Okay, Jude, I see you. So thank you so much. What's your question, my love? Yeah, I'm like, I always have tea and I always have coffee. So I'm like, why not make it healthy? you know? It's little things that you can do to add to it to make it like a little bit special. And so, Judy, if you have a question, I know you're typing, obviously, but feel free. Just think of something that I can help you with right now, or anything that you need clarity on. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. I see a few more people joining. Thank you, Trish. Okay, so because Trish just gave a donation, Jude, I'm just gonna let you know. So when you give a donation, you just lock your position in ahead, and Johnny. So hold that thought. I'll get through their reading, and then once I get through them, unless of course you give a donation, I will get to you as well. Okay. So Trish, what's your question, my love? What's going on? And thank you, Johnny. You're so sweet. Welcome, guys. Thank you for the new people that have joined. Working on mediumship and insight timer. How is that gonna pan out? Okay, cool. Let's find out. Oh, you're so sweet, Jude. Yeah, absolutely. Like, hey, hang around anyway, because sometimes when I give readings to other people, it's gonna resonate oftentimes, and I will take a question for free. It's just that when people give donations, they just take the spot of the head because obviously they paid. So I'm gonna tune into you, Trish. But I always give free readings at the end, so no stress there. It's not expected, but it's very appreciated, of course. Okay, that's that's hot. Okay, so let's see what's coming up. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, by the way, I hired this coach and I did a session with him last week or the week before that, and I had an entity attached to me, which made sense because I had weird stuff moving in my house, and I've been having like, I mean, I always have nightmares, but that was like really intense stuff. And since he, since we did the work, I've been feeling a lot lighter and definitely not having any like crazy nightmares or anything. Um, so it's been kind of nice. I've been feeling a little bit lighter and a little bit more connected, which is what I needed. So sometimes even though it's like even though we do the work ourselves and all the energy work, you got to remember. I think I talked about this in the last session. Light workers are always targeted because they don't want us to have high frequency. They want us to have a low vibration. So I feel like I always felt like I was being kind of targeted for some reason. Ooh, okay, Trish. So, I'm hearing something about like, okay, so the first card that we got is indulgence. Okay, so when we get this card, essentially what I'm hearing here for you is that you got to make this a fun experience. It's like there has to be a lot of joy and light energy in this. It's almost like not being afraid to ask for more. I feel like because you've worked these crappy jobs that you've always felt like ugh, it's like a painful thing and it's a hard working thing, really when we're in our purpose, sure there's work involved, right? But like I work really long hours and I never feel like I'm working because I'm doing everything that I love. There are some days of course that are a bit more, ooh, but I'll take this any day over a 9 to 5 that I hate. But I don't have my energy drained. I always end up with a lot of energy by the end of the day and I'm feeling strong. But I also love it and I appreciate it and I'm in gratitude and I allow myself to express it. But also not being afraid to desire, like the desire of it and the wanting of it, because there is almost like this, like, oh, don't ask for too much. How dare you say that you want more? How, like you should be happy with what you have. So you have this limiting belief here that I can see very strongly, and so the star came up. So you gotta start seeing yourself as the rock star, as the lead actor in your film right now, and you gotta enjoy it. You gotta like be okay to say I want this and I want more and I want even more. So yeah, he did clear out the entity, by the way. So you know, I'm okay with my ego, but if there is resistance towards your ego, then there's some kind of resistance. We have to remember that we are shadow and light. We have both of these things, and there's nothing wrong with having an ego in the sense of arrogance a little bit, or as long as you're not harming anybody else. And I don't mean arrogance as in like I'm better than everybody else. It's more like I feel like I'm worthy to have that success. I want to be the star. I want to be seen. I want to be valued. I want to be recognized. I want people to see my gifts, because when people see it within yourself, within you, then they start seeing it within themselves. So it's actually not so much of a selfish thing when you really think of it, because energy affects other energy around it. So when you start giving yourself these gifts, you give permission for other people to also give themselves these gifts. Oh, hey Dylan, thanks for being here. You're more than welcome to be nosy. It happens a lot. So, and this is again, so we have unfulfilled expectations here. So I think it's also, of course, there's just a fear, obviously, of like, oh, what if I put my standards too high and then I get let down? And here's the truth of the matter is it's never about the outcome with these things. It's really about the journey and who you become on the way. Yes, of course we want the outcome. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to make some money, and it's nice to, be recognized, or whatever it is that the big dream is. But the truth of the matter is if you're not enjoying the journey, you're gonna hate it. And it doesn't matter what the outcome will be, you're never gonna be happy with it. So what can you do right now to make this an epic story for yourself and enjoying every moment of it, because that energy is what makes it blossom, and that's what's going to create the yeah, the beauty within it. And then we have balance restored and resolution. Okay, so I feel like you're going to eventually figure it out. It's just that you're in a moment right now where your brain is still like trying to like, I have this one thing that's my passion. I have this thing that pays the bill, and then I want this to pay the bills, but so there's this all like this a bit of chaos. So I see things working out, but the real key here is not to be afraid to be the star of your own movie and make it that way. What is it that I heard somebody say this today? It was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good at like replaying it, but basically this woman was saying like how her mother was this one, how her mother was like, people loved being around her mother, and like she had this like incredible magnetism. And she said it's because my mother like is obsessed with her own life. She loves her life. So that was the thing. Yeah, and by the way, swords in general means the mind, right? So the battle between the left and the right side, the masculine and the feminine, and the two energies battling with one each other, and so they're putting their swords down right now. So the battle is over. And number two is the number of peace. So there's gonna be more peace. There's gonna be more, but it's just you're still adjusting. You're still creating that shift. You're still like, you know, you just made a huge change. You know what I mean? So it takes a minute, and might take even a few months, to be realistic. But once you settle into it, once you start finding yourself more calm, then you can see things clearer, and then you made the right choice. It's just a matter of like the ego's freaking out right now, because it's like you went from this thing that you hated, and suddenly you're starting to do something that you love, and then it's almost like you should feel guilty about it. So it's just all in a battle, but there's going to be some balance restored. I want to see anything else about the outcome. I want to get a message for you, just something to help you with the. And it's also like if we make it about the outcome, guys, sometimes the outcome doesn't happen the way that we wanted, and if we don't get it, then we give up, and then we go back. So ground yourself. When you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, Your attention and work are needed upon earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and the material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. Well, that's pretty straightforward, and that's pretty much what I just said. Okay, so it's just you're in the balancing stage right now, and they want you to do this work, obviously. So it's very clear that this is something that you know it's a gift that you have. It's something that is very much needed. Um, and yeah, it's just a matter of time. And I see the butterflies and the flowers, so it's like the butterfly is a symbol of transformation, and the flowers is the blossoming of your beauty, of your gifts. And the butterfly, it takes time again, so it's not something I feel like it's going to be immediate, but what you need to work on is just that balance to feel safe in this transition, to feel strong in it, because that's also going to reflect in what you're creating. If we have that fear, um, you know we're creating that fear through our work, which is easier said than done, of course, but you're going to get there for sure. Just embrace the journey, because and be gentle with yourself. Like you're very brave. You made like a huge step forward, which I'm so happy that you did, because you needed it and you know it was the right thing for you. But we're programmed to feel bad about that. It's not even your fault. It's just how society programs us. Sometimes I feel bad about it still, because I'm like, but then when I really think about it, I'm like, there's no way I'm going back to doing a 9 to 5. Like, there's just no way. I'm going to have to make this work somehow. So for me, it's very, very essential, to feel that freedom and not being part of the matrix, if you know what I mean. Hi, Simran. Thank you so much for being here. So right now I'm doing donation readings, but I will get to questions later. So Trish, did you feel like that helped you out? Like, I know you said it does, but is there anything else that you want more clarity on? Oh, you're so welcome. I know. And it's like, I mean, the card really tells you the journey, but it's also something that I feel, because I've been there through that transition and I know how scary it is, but also I feel like you're now also starting to feel like, oh, this is the best thing ever at the same time. So, hey, Katrin. So right now I've got Johnny next. Johnny gave a donation, and then I'm taking questions after that. Unless somebody gives a donation, they lock their position in. But if not, no problem. I will still get to everybody. Okay, Johnny. So it's your turn, my friend. What's up? General. Okay. So I'm gonna. Yeah, but good for you, Trish. Honestly, I don't feel like you're gonna regret it, because I think you would have regretted it if you never tried. Oh, nice. You know what? I've been getting an impulse to read that too. Would like some help to come back into presence, my word of the year, and to stop ruminating. Well, Johnny, I don't know if you heard what I said before, but start speaking to your mind. That's one thing that I've been doing lately, and it's been actually really good. Um, you have to catch yourself though. You have to have that self-awareness that you're ruminating. So like I said, I start having these like negative thoughts or these stories that I start playing in my head that aren't really like feel good. And I will literally say in my mind, as if I'm speaking to my mind, I'm like, hey mind, can you please not do this? I would like to think about something that actually is making me feel a little bit better or empowered or at peace right now, because this is not a feel good situation. And I noticed that my mind kind of lets go of that tension. So starting to communicate with yourself is very important, and re-establishing a new relationship with the way that you have this relationship with your mind is crucial. So let's see. Thank you, Katrin. I got you down. Okay, so you got the cosmic angels. Um, Cosmic angels exist beyond the constraints of this world, and when they incarnate into human form, they often struggle to fit in, feeling like an outsider in a foreign place. However, they remind you to embrace yourself fully, even if you feel different from those around you. Your uniqueness is your strength. The more you free yourself from limitations of the human expectations, the more you will thrive. Trust in your cosmic nature and let your light shine without fear. So what I heard here, especially for you, Johnny, is that, I feel like you have this connection to something else. Like you do have some sort of like, I've heard like some kind of downloads you get, and that people who get a lot of downloads also have very active minds. Not because, it's just because they don't know how to control sometimes that, like, those downloads basically. So it gets meshed in with downloading information and my overthinking. But what I'm hearing here as well, um, oh, now I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. I know if it's important. That's what it was. So, oh, it keeps coming and going, and then it's like, it'll come, it'll come, it'll come. I know it's going to come. So it's something about, okay, the human limitations that you put upon yourself. So it's almost like I feel like there's a part of you that struggles with these downloads and not recognizing them for what they are. And so you kind of think that they're like, I don't know, something crazy, as opposed to like understanding that you're receiving something. I'm hoping this is going to make more sense in a second once I put the puzzle together. Um, but it's something about you're judging it or you're limiting yourself in some way. And there's, of course, a fear as well of like, you want to fit in, you want to be a part of society. But then if you embrace this kind of side of you, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like a weirdo, if that makes any sense. Yes, I often get downloads, but I often struggle to believe in them. There it is. That's what I mean. Okay, I'm glad. So here's the thing, Johnny. It's like, it's one of those things that you're not going to know if they're real until you try. So I always say with the intuition, for instance, like when I get an intuitive download, for instance, it tells me to go and do something. It's like, hey, you should really like create a video about this. And I'm like, what the but I was like, all right, I'll do it, and then sometimes it'll help somebody, or it's like, you should really go into this shop, there's something in there for you, and then somehow I bump into a person, you know what I mean? But unless I follow through with it, you don't know whether it's just you being crazy or your intuition actually like leading you. So this is also saying, it's almost like, what you resist persists. This is also why you're having a lot of these running thoughts, is because you resist them. Um you don't actually allow yourself to explore what these are and relax into this, because it might just be BS, but it might also be like actual, um, something important. And it doesn't always have to make sense, because our human brains cannot comprehend a lot of things. Like, we're very limited. Thank you, Dylan. I'll tell you in a second. The Book of Realms is my book. I wrote it. So yeah, so the other thing is like crystal witches. So your energy around you, be very careful with that as well. So I'll read you this one. The crystal witches understand the power of crystals and how when energy is channeled it can amplify, heal, and affect. Be aware of your environment and how the energies around you may be influencing you, then make the necessary changes to clear out anything that isn't in alignment with your peace. So I kind of feel like this is also linked up to this thing, right? I feel like, I think you've taken on just belief systems that are keeping you a little bit limited. Um, and so when we're talking about energy and information, it's like what you take on, you believe, and then you become a lot of the times. And I feel like there's just some things that you've taken on in your environment, like, oh, if you start thinking that you could talk to aliens or that you can channel or blah, 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 it makes you crazy. And when you take on these beliefs, you shut your energy down, as opposed to just being open and just saying, okay, whatever, I don't care if I'm crazy, but just, you know, let's have some fun. Just be open about it. So I'm not sure where you got this information from, but it's just saying, like, don't try not to limit yourself so much. Just try to be more curious, I think the question is, because I think the more you relax into it, you'll notice that those running thoughts aren't going to be so crazy. I mean, they might be odd, but they're not going to be crazy. And then also you're going to create a better relationship with yourself where there's less resistance within yourself. So as opposed to like having this inner battle always between that's silly and I shouldn't be thinking that, to okay, well, that's an interesting thought. It's a very different energy from tension to like being relaxed. I keep feeling like this tension in your mind because you're constantly like fighting yourself. And that fighting creates all sorts of issues. The next guy that you got is the shapeshifters. Okay, so there is a way for you to find a win-win outcome. So the shapeshifters are asking you to embrace adaptability. This situation requires you to be more flexible, open minded, and willing to shift your perspective. There may be a need for compromise, finding balance where all involved can benefit. By flowing with the changes instead of resisting them, literally what I just said, you can discover new opportunities and solutions that create a win-win outcome. Trust in your adaptability to adjust and transform as needed. So stop doing the same things, basically. Like, whatever you're doing right now isn't obviously serving you. So it's just a matter of just trying a few different things. It's like, okay, I've been debating this freaking thought for like so long. Why don't I try and like to ask it questions instead and dive deeper into it and see where it takes me? And that change sometimes can create new outcomes, and that's what I'm ultimately hearing here, is that you have a lot more power and a lot more abilities to change this than you think you do. But it's only because you don't have really, you haven't really thought about it, or don't have really the tools as to like, what can I do? And like I said, one example is when I started talking to my own mind lately, because these thoughts are causing so much pain for me. And I'm like, I can't keep thinking these thoughts because I know where these lead to, and it's not good. So intuitively, I was like, well, just talk to your mind, just tell it to stop. And I was like, okay. And I just tried it, and it worked. But if I was not open to that, I would have never been able to access that. And so that curiosity, that openness, and without judging yourself is very important, because that gives you access to more and more and more tools and more skills and more opportunities. But when you say, no, that's stupid, you're immediately shutting that down and you're limiting your world. So does that make sense, Johnny? It's more like, even so, asking questions, Trish, is more about telling it what I want. I literally tell my mind, is like, I don't like this thought. Can you please give me something that makes me feel better? So Dylan, by the way, the Book of Realms is it's based on my Oracle deck as well. So it's 50 realms. So in the Book of Realms, you basically discover what your spiritual archetype is. So it's wizard, witches, warlocks. It's just a fun book, but it's got a lot of wisdom and actual depth to it. So when you read the book, you essentially figure out what realm you belong to, and then that's basically what it's about. So it's a fun book. Yes, makes a lot of sense, and it feels very apt for me. Amazing. So just try it. I mean, I feel like yeah, definitely check it out. It's on Amazon. You can get it. So it's available. There's the digital. I made three-tier prices, so very affordable to obviously a little bit more expensive with the color one. That one's the color version, the hard copy, and then the paperback is black and white, and then the digital is just the digital. Um, so yeah, so it's just requiring you, I think, to make some of those shifts. Yeah, exactly. What are you afraid of, by the way? Like, what is the worst thing that's going to happen, Johnny, if you follow one of these synchronicities? Like, really, if you don't tell anyone, and this is just a game that you're playing between yourself and the universe, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? Nothing. Like, that's usually, unless you make some crazy decision where you like give all your money away, which we don't want to do that, right? But like, most of the time, nothing happens. And the best case scenario, something happens, and you're like, huh, that was really a synchronicity. Or there's something here that I need to pay attention to. But I always say, I rather live a world where I believe in magical possibilities, because it's way more fun. And that's the only reason why I'm doing it. you know, there's no other reason for it. And that's enough of a reason. Okay, so do you have any more questions, Johnny? Do you want to dive any more deeper, or you feel like that's good? And I'm with you guys. I'm just okay. My husband's just being cute. My husband always sends me like love messages every day, which is the sweetest thing ever. I love it when he does that. But sometimes I'm like, is it just a message, or is something happened? Just try it for a week, Johnny. Go on an adventure. Let your mind have fun. Aw, thank you, Eunice. I appreciate that. Hey, CG, good to see you. Aw, thanks, Trish. Okay, so Katrin. I hope I'm saying your name right. Katrin, what's your question, my love? Was it Katrin or Catherine? Am I just? Oh, it's Catherine. God, girl, I can't read. Okay. I'd like a reading about my art practice, please. Yeah, I can't read. It's okay. It's fine. I only wrote like 4 books. Can't read, but I can write. That's the main thing. Okay. I read it my act practice. Okay, so you're an artist, I'm assuming. So let me just tune in. I'm just laughing because I was like, how did I miss Catherine? It's like so obviously Catherine. It's maybe because it's with the Y. I don't know. Okay, good. It's not me. It's me. I'm pretty sure I'm dyslexic, so that doesn't help as well. My brain sometimes I see things. It's funny if something is written backwards, I'll be able to read it. And my husband's like, "How did you read that?" And I was like, "Oh, isn't it?" I was like, "Oh yeah, then that doesn't make sense." Ooh, okay. Whoops. Okay, 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 okay. I really want to like, they want to talk to you. Okay. Okay, so a couple of things. So I feel like there is something within your body right now. So we got body movement. Okay, it's gonna make sense in a second. Um, so what I'm hearing here is that sometimes when you are a painter, when you create art in general, you're channeling something. In general, you're receiving information, right? But what I'm hearing here is that if you want to, I feel like you want to upgrade your art or you're trying to get to some other level with it. So what I'm hearing here is you have to embody it more. And so something about, I'm feeling like walking every day or making some kind of physical movement to allow the energy to shift more into the whole body as opposed to just around certain areas. I hope this is making sense because it's like weird stuff that I'm saying, but I have to trust what comes out of my mouth. Um, so it's something about like fully embodying it because it's almost like a full download as opposed to a half download. I know what this means because I act and do other things as well, but hopefully this is making sense to you. um, but the other thing that I'm hearing here is like it's a weird balance between quiet time and retreating and relaxing, and then the physical movement. Um, because you see, you need to be a lot more. First and foremost, I'm hearing nature is very big for you, so it's like more nature time. I don't know if you've not prioritized it, but it's almost like something about that and the quiet time because you even got vacation. So you got quiet time, vacation, and then self reliance. So there is like it's a weird thing. I feel like what I'm hearing here, my friend, is that you basically have to create a new routine for yourself, which is feeding your energy and allowing you to have some level of balance as well. So it's like have the physical movement, the full body download, then take that moment maybe to meditate, to be quiet with yourself, to be in nature. It's also like your nervous system because when you paint for a very long time, I don't know if you're also like a full time painter or not, but if you have a job and you paint, that's a long hours. That's a lot of work that you're putting into it, and your body can only take so much because even the brain and the energy can take a lot more, but then the body can only do so much. So I'm hearing this like some kind of routine that allows you to move that energy so that you can constantly be in that flow state. But one thing that I'm hearing here is dreams come true. Okay, this is a beautiful card. And this is a lot to do with your inner child for some reason. I don't know if your inner child always wanted to be a painter or so what I'm hearing here is just like reconnecting also to that inner child and speaking to them and allowing them to flow through you while you're painting. You have a lot of like energy download stuff. This is like um so something about also just reminding yourself as to why you started doing this and that energy, that pure innocent belief, like you know when a kid believes in something, it's just like so powerful, that energy. It's like I know I'm it's like they have this belief that it's like nothing can shake it. And so there's something about that for you as well. It's like reconnecting to that frequency, reconnecting to that energy, which is very dreamy, but at the same time, it's also very anchored in like real solid knowingness. Um, yeah, very interesting. Your inner child's coming through a lot. The next thing is like self reliance. I'm trying to make art from and about the felt sense. There you go. Well, that makes sense. Um, but the other thing is also like self reliance here. Okay, so you need to trust yourself a little bit more. I don't know if it's even like the stability or something about, I don't know if you've lost a little bit of trust or if things have been a little bit more challenging. So it kind of like makes you like lose a little bit of that strength or faith, or I'm not sure. But self reliance is like really just trusting yourself that you've got this. Um, and it's even like, again, the body thing is coming up a lot. It's almost like reconnecting. So the felt thing, maybe it's connected to like your intention. Um, but really connected to you, physical, emotional, all of it. So it's almost like maybe reestablishing a new relationship with yourself. I'm also trying to change my routine to allow more time for art. Yeah. And it's also like what I'm hearing here is like, with art as well, as sometimes it's like you get into that flow state and it's like you can create something in like an hour where it would normally take you maybe something like 3 4 hours to do. So this is why I'm hearing maybe this like body flow thing. It's because time can become more useful if it's channeled properly. But when we're like not in alignment, and I know this even for myself, we ended up taking like 3 hours to do something that it could maybe take us 1 hour to do. So in order to get into that flow state, there needs to be more that connection to the self. um yeah, hopefully this is helping you, but I'm going to see if there's something else that they want to say. Is there anything else like specific that you want to know about your art? Maybe it'll help me direct the cards a little bit more to like something that can really help you. Hey guys, welcome everybody who's just joined. I have a bit of a battle between technical portraits and intuitive exploration. Yeah, okay. So you want to be able to find a way to sort of. Do you feel like the technique is getting in the way? Is that what it is that you feel? Which usually should be more freeing, but it can if you're. Okay, this one works. Yeah, right. Okay, so first and foremost, just be patient with yourself because you're making a shift. Okay, so one of the things that I'm hearing here right now is that I think because you're so used to being good at it, you're expecting yourself just to be able to make this shift from another technique or another version of your art. I feel like you're just expecting it to get it. You're like, why isn't this working? Like, it's so simple. It should just be easy. But what I'm hearing here is that it's a bit of a journey for you. It's a shift. It's a complete. It's getting to the other side of something. So you see, you have to get over the bridge to get into that, to meet this being or whatever. So it's gonna take a minute, but there's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right. A spiritual quest. So Catherine, this is a spiritual exploration. This is not just an intuitive exploration. This is a spiritual exploration for you. So it's a lot more than just feelings and sensations and whatever. This is like a spiritual shift or awakening or transformation for you, because it's through your art that you're expressing this energy. So it's not something that can happen really overnight. It's going to be a little bit of a process. But it's very healing, and it's going to be, it's going to connect you to something else, a whole other part of you. The plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success using resources wisely. So, look, it's going to work out fine, but you got to just be patient and just allow yourself and trust. Again, that trust yourself is when, because you were saying, I have the issue with the technical and then this, but it's almost like you just have to be daring and trust and like, hey, if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. Okay. But at least I can give it a go and just trust what's coming through me. Um, so again, that surrender, but it's going to work out fine. You're going to get there. It's just a process. It's not something, again, that's going to happen overnight. And just like I said, be patient with yourself. And then you have invested wisely, have patience, and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavors. So, like I said, it's just something that isn't going to happen like immediately, but it is, yeah, and it is going to get there. And change your routine, change your daily routine. Go for that walk, sit with nature, and I really feel like make it a spiritual thing. Like connect to some higher power and allow them to channel to you and through you anything that needs to be expressed through your painting. So that's what I would say. I was like, I'm open and receptive to whatever, not whatever, be specific actually, because you can invite whatever in there and you don't want to invite just whatever. It's like Satan comes through, is like, okay. And you're like, no, 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 that's not what I want. Like something like a higher power or like your highest expression or something like that to channel to you and through you and then to express this art through you. So there's a little girl that I know that she's like some sort of like painter genius and she downloads like Jesus and Mother Mary and all these crazy things right through her paintings, which are absolutely ridiculous, and she's a kid, but she fully channels this stuff, and it's a full spiritual practice for her. It's not even so much an artistic, it's a spiritual whatever. So maybe try to upgrade it from that space so that it's no longer, there's less ego attached, there's less expectation, because it's not I have to fulfill this thing. It's like, no, this is thing that's going to come through me. I'm going to reveal it to me, and it's being a spiritual again. It's like I don't even know. Yeah, that feels important. It's something bigger than yourself, if that makes any sense. So it's going to make it a little bit easier, I think. I'm giving really good advice here. It's like, yeah, just let anything through. Okay, good. So, do you have any more questions that I can that you need help with, or how do you feel? Crack my back. Oh. Okay. You have a question about sharing the artwork with people, a specific person, online. Oh, I'm always going to tell you go for it. But let's see what the cards have to say. Listen. Hey, that's awesome. Okay, it's giving me my cards. Okay. So you got the flower fairies, okay? So the flower fairies often are very shy. They hide, and they are often they don't really believe in themselves that much. So the flower fairies remind you of your innate beauty, strength, and worth. True confidence comes from within. Being gentle does not mean being weak, and being powerful does not mean being harsh. You can stand tall in your truth while embracing kindness and grace. See yourself through the eyes of love and let light shine without fear. The world needs your unique radiance. So honor your self worth and bloom unapologetically. So really, the usual thing with online stuff is that there's a fear of criticism and people saying that's ugly or they tear it apart or whatever, and that's the insecurity that's coming out here. I think with the online stuff, but it's being very clear here. Let the world needs to see your creation. Don't worry about what people say. As long as this makes you happy and it fulfills you and this is a part of who you are, that's the most important thing. Yeah, still showing up with vulnerability. And as an artist, I'm an actor. How I know I'm doing a really good performance is because I feel extremely vulnerable and uncomfortable. So when I feel like that, I know I'm doing something right in that scene. If I'm feeling secure and safe, and that's why people pay us the big bucks, because we do things that make you feel literally naked on stage. So that's how and it's the same thing with your art, and just put it out there, be vulnerable, be open, and then people will have their opinions, but you should only care about how it makes you feel, not what people say. And you might get compliments too. I mean, it could be either or, but who cares? Oh, that's awesome. I'm so jealous of people who can do improv. I am terrible at improv. I am awful. I am literally, those people who are like on American Idol and they sing and they think they're like really good, but they're absolutely terrible. That's me at improv. I cannot improv to save my life, and that's okay. I respect those who can. It's a skill, but it's not my skill. Whew, okay, Catherine. Well, I hope this helps a little bit. I hope it gives you some clarity, and best of luck. You got this, girl. You got it. Just do your thing, enjoy it, have fun, keep exploring. You're so welcome, my love. All right, guys. So we are done with the donations, unless of course anybody else gives a donation. Hey, Jamie, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here, guys. Welcome. What's happening? Okay, so I know that somebody had a question before. I think it was you, Jude. If you still want to ask a question, feel free. Right now, I don't have any donations left, so if anybody wants to ask, let me know. Put your name down. If not, just ask me a question. I'd be happy to answer. I can also show you a little. I mean, I can't promote my stuff here, but somebody asked me about my book before, so I don't want to promote it. But if you ask, of course, I'll talk about it, but not too much, because that's not what Insight Time is for. I'm here for you guys. So let me know, guys, if you have any questions. Welcome, welcome. And if not, that's fine. We'll just hang out. I'll just talk to myself. Pretty good at that. Hey, Carla, good to see you. Welcome. How we doing? Hey, hey, hey. Yes, so if anybody wants a reading, let me know. Feel free, put your name down. So, yeah. I was just saying at the beginning, for those of you who missed it, I was saying that we have a new moon coming up to not tomorrow, Saturday. I think it's Saturday. And I always get these huge impulses to clean my house and clear out the space around these moons. And so I just did a massive clean. Like I had 3 huge bags of like clothing and stuff, and I was like, I feel so good just to clear out the space. Um, okay, sure, Chandra, what's up? Hey, how you doing? What's your question, my love? And Carla as well. Sorry, I just saw yours, Carla. Of course. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, that's sweet, Carla. Okay, so Chandra, what's your? I hope I'm saying your name right again. Please forgive me if I butcher your name, guys. What's your question, my love? I'm obsessed with this tea. I drink a lot of tea. A lot of tea. Thank you, guidance on my upcoming trip to Uganda. Very cool. Well, have a fun trip. These are hot. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Ooh. Okay, so we got Queen of Air, independence, experience, realistic, witty, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in the situation. So what I'm hearing here essentially is like this trip is going to help you out to put things in perspective in your actual current life. I feel like it's going to give you some, yeah, it's just going to change your perspective on certain things. I'm not sure why. Maybe you're going to have an experience there, or you're going to see something. I mean, travel really in general can have a lot of like, you just look at the world differently, you look at your life differently, and it can change perspective sometimes. um oh, no worries, Catherine, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Make sure to follow for the next one. So it's just going to bring you some kind of shift. Now, I do see the Lovers card. I don't know if you're in a relationship or you're hoping for a relationship. It could also just mean, intimate relationship, carefully weigh your decision, good health. Um, but it could mean, it also could mean family because it does have the number six too. So I don't know if you have family there or something, but something about some soul connection. So it's going to impact a relationship in your life, whether it is creating a new relationship, an existing relationship. But I think there's going to be some healing there. It's going to help you with that. And balance. Okay, so it's going to rebalance certain things in your life. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation, and compromise. Wait for the perfect time. You got three major arcanas, by the way, after this. So this is obviously something that is very important. This trip is going to just bring something new into your field. It's gonna help you with certain things. And then the renewal, review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. Ah, that's probably why. Okay, so that makes sense. So the lovers could mean that because sometimes it doesn't always mean relationship, but it could mean like a love connection and so that sort of thing. So that could mean something. But it's gonna shift something. So I don't know what this means at the end of the day, but it's like taking on a new journey, moving in a new direction, time to move in a new direction. I think it's really this trip is gonna just allow you to see things from a different perspective, and it's gonna make some changes happen in your life. It's gonna impact obviously the relationship with your son, but it's gonna restore some level of balance. It's gonna bring in that clarity that like, okay, now I know what I need to do. Now I know what I need to change. Now I understand things a little bit better. I know how to prioritize things where I don't feel so overwhelmed, or where I don't feel like things that I thought were important aren't really that important, and I realize that this is the important thing. Oh, that's beautiful. It could be that. It could just be realizing your purpose and fulfilling that. It's obviously gonna take you on a journey of some kind. It's an emotional one. I'm not gonna say, because whenever we got a lot of water and it's like rocky water, it's gonna be emotional. It doesn't mean it's bad emotions. It could just mean like big emotions though. Um, and I feel like you're really guided to do this as well. Like there is this like higher power that's leading you towards it. It's almost like you're being guided to do this. This is not something as well that you like. I think it's really part of your purpose. There's something here that you're finally ready to follow through with, which is, it's big because you got three major arcanas. Can I just say, by the way, in this reading? So this is obviously something that you're really meant to be doing, and you got the one that's going to put things in perspective again. It's just the way that you look at the world. It's going to change your perspective as well of your world, the way that you see your life, and again, things that matter and things that don't matter. It's gonna make some big changes. So this is exciting. It's gonna be a lot intense, but it's gonna be good, and I think you're gonna come out of this feeling like you've at least fulfilled some part of your purpose or direction. So yeah, thank you for doing the work. That's amazing. We love that. I don't see anything else specific to it. Is there anything else that you need help with? I feel like it's pretty clear as to like, you know, this is what it is, and it's pretty direct. My guinea pigs are fighting again. Hey, it feels like that to me too. Thank you for the confirmation. Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad that you got the confirmation. If that's all you need, hey, we love that. Carla, what's up? My guinea pigs got into it the other day, and there was like a chunk of fur on the floor. These two love each other, but they also like sometimes fight. Seeing guinea pigs fight is kind of cute, though. I had some really disappointing yet interesting news yesterday regarding one of the illegal proceedings I had going on. It didn't go my way, and I would like to understand what happened and how to respond, if at all. It is interesting because actually feel like it is opening something up in me. That's why I want to know how to respond in the best way. Well, you can tell them to. No, I'm joking. You're gonna punch him in the face. No, give the best advice over here, guys. Could you imagine if that's like the advice that I gave? It was like, oh, I think she needs to be fired. You go and pop the tires off their cars. That's what you go and do. All right, let's see what comes up. I didn't see that one fully come out, so I'm not gonna. Anything else? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so I Carla's like, I was thinking about that. Okay, so life experience, yes. I think you're on track with that. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings. I mean, sometimes, like you said, these painful things, these things that shock us really create a ripple of change, and it's not great, but it's something that you, for some reason, have to go through right now. And I feel like it's some kind of a contract that you've made that unfortunately it's one of those shitty contracts that we make even like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea when we're in spirit form, and then we get down here, we're like, are you kidding me? That was a really bad idea, So, but it's an experience that you're meant to have. So I'd say it's like start asking different questions maybe, as opposed to seeing it as like expecting certain outcomes, or understanding that it might just not go your way. And so preparing sometimes for the worst, but having the best attitude about it. It's like, what is this teaching me? Because there's some things, guys, that we just genuinely cannot have a lot of control over, and like we want to fix it, we want to make it better, even if it's not fair. Life is so fucking unfair sometimes. Like it's so unfair, really. And I think sometimes having that positive outcome is a great thing. Being a positive person, I'm not trying to take that away from anybody, but sometimes it just doesn't go that way. Sometimes you're meant to experience the pain and the suffering and the difficulty. And I think the resistance to it and saying this shouldn't be happening, or this is not how it was meant to go, creates even more suffering, because now we've attached an expectation to the outcome, as opposed to just somehow, and I know it's, again, it's so easier said than done, but just saying, what if I move into this? What if I embrace this to go my way at all? I pursued on principle, and I wanted and I wanted the public record either way. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Well, good for you for doing that. However, Carla, I do see a breakthrough. Okay, so sometimes things go down, but then they come back up. So I did say you're gonna get a bit of a breather. Okay, so you're gonna get your head out of the water. You're gonna be able to breathe. There is something good coming out of this. Your wishes come true, concerns fade away, a love of life again. So what I'm hearing here essentially is that, like, I don't know what this is about, obviously, and I hope you're okay, and I hope everything's okay. But what I'm hearing here is that, like, how can you still enjoy life and the little moments without allowing this to consume you, without allowing this to bring that suffering and that pain in your day to day, because then it has power over you. So you want to kind of in some way reclaim your power back here by not allowing this to be maybe the main thing in your life, where it's taking up all this energy and space. It's like, how can I bring back some of that peace and some of that tranquility? Because I feel like that's really the key here. Then you're coming into your own new partnership or contracts. Continue to move forward. So I don't know if it's there's going to be some kind of settlement or some kind of agreement or something's going to be offered to you. But I feel like that's probably the breakthrough. Like there's going to be a change in this. It's not going to go all that way. Excuse me. And then seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. And I feel like, again, because this does involve some kind of a contract, you do have some power over this, but also some of it is kind of like been written. And I'm also feeling like, I don't know if this is related to your family or bloodline, or there's some sort of like bloodline thing that's come up. Because I see like the it's almost like the family tree, and these are like energetic contracts that are going out. So I don't know if that's something to do with that, but I feel like, at the end of the day, how can you find, I don't even know what I describe. I feel like I've touched everything. I mean, it's one of those things that there's only so much you can do, right? Oh, I'm hitting it. Okay, good. So again, you can sort of like release this contract in some way where emotionally I feel like you need to release yourself from the pain of it, from making it a torture chamber. Because when, especially in, if this is something to do with family or bloodline or whatever, it's very strong because it's emotional on top of whatever else. But there are things that we can do to say, this is your shit, man. You can take this back. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't have to suffer just because you did something fucked up. And now I have to take on your crap and my crap and our ancestors' crap and whatever else. It's like, nah. Like, how can I make this something where I give back the pain and the suffering and the struggle, and I keep my peace in this somehow? Obviously, this would be the ultimate Zen mode, right? But I understand. It's like, you know, but I feel like if there's something that you can do here to relieve yourself of at least the pain attached to this, it's going to make it a little bit lighter for you to get through it. Does that make sense? Hey, Hannah, thank you so much. So I feel like just, and also, oh my God, they're fighting again. Hey, guys, no fighting. They're beating the crap out of each other. They're fine, by the way, but they're very dramatic guinea pigs when they fight. It was a matter of systematic racism on my job. I fought back knowing it could help me process it out and help someone else who can't speak. And this is definitely ancestral work. Okay, because it happened before, but the women in my bloodline couldn't defend themselves. So, yes to all of it. And I'll focus on my job as my reward. Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, obviously, I don't know what it's like to have somebody being racist, but, you know, it's a pain point, but at the same time, this is something, again, I think that the healing part of it is not allowing this to have any power over you, because back then it was unfortunately a big problem, and especially in the ancestors, there's so much pain still in the DNA and in the body being carried through. And the best way to win any kind of unfairness is to really not carry that pain anymore. And it doesn't mean you still don't speak up and don't do the right thing, obviously, but I'm just saying it's like you just don't have any power over me. You don't own any rent in my body, in my DNA, in my mind. I'm thinking about good things. I'm thinking about things that make me happy. I'm thinking about the things that I'm going to achieve. And my success is how I win. So does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense now. That's what I felt. Yeah, you got this, Carla. I know it's tough though. I mean, and these are difficult ones, but good for you for still doing the right thing and for putting your foot down about it. And again, it might not even just be about the outcome and you winning the case, but it's maybe just about you fighting, for it, when back in the day that wasn't even an option, and you can break the cycle that way. So knowing that it doesn't matter what happens, that you can be at peace, that I think I keep feeling like that's the key to this. So whether you win or not, it doesn't even matter at the end. It's all about just having, you've already won by speaking up and doing the right thing. Hey, can you two stop fighting? What is the beef? What's with the beef? What are you guys fighting over? What did he do? What did you do? So cute. Yeah, they had no way out, but I did, and I feel like I took simply having my day to speak my piece and hold them accountable. Yeah, that's how I felt. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, my love. Best of luck. We're all here rooting for you, okay? Hannah, what's up? How you doing? What's your question? What's happening, everybody? I see more people have joined. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. How are we doing, everybody? Happy Thursday. I am Cecilia. Hi, welcome. I'm just waiting for Hannah now to ask her question. Hi, I'm just after a general reading. Okay, girl, we got you. All right. Yes, so Hannah gave a donation, so she's first, and then once I'm done with her, if nobody gives a donation, then I'm happy to take more questions, unless, of course, you give a donation. But of course, this is not expected. I'm just saying how the system works. I always feel weird saying it because I feel like I expect it. I don't, although it's appreciated. But that's how it works, basically. So if you hang around, Cecilia, I will get to you. All right, Hannah, I'm just gonna tune in. Oh, thank you, Cecilia. I got you down. So you'll be after Hannah. Oop, there it is. Oop, there it is. Okay. Oh, I just hit myself in the chin. This is why I hate it when they do that. Don't drop my cards. Thank you. Huh. Is there something new that's come up? Okay, so we got focus on service, go for it, assertiveness, relationship. This is what happens when you ask for general. You get general. No, okay, so focus on service. Your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in constant stream of bliss. This stream continuously feeds you everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in the stream of giving and receiving in every situation, and it'll all that you do. So, Hannah, I don't know what it is that you need help with, but there's something I feel like you want to do, or something. I feel like there's two separate things. One is definitely like relationship thing, but there's a separate thing happening as well. With this, it's saying if you want the motivation or the strength or why, like it's just saying make it about service. Like, what is the greater reason for doing this? I am a full-time career for my son, but I'm feeling burnt out. Ah, there it is. So remind yourself as to why you're doing this, like find the greater purpose behind it. And also it's like the unicorn energy is a beautiful energy. It's like a magical energy, like bring back the magic, bring back the, hey Ryan, how you doing? um Bring back the, just it's the playfulness, the joy, the service as well. When we do things out of service, it's a bigger cause than ourselves, and so it gives us that like expansion of energy, and it gives us that strength and that power to do more, to be more, to show up more. But when we make it about the smaller things, it can of course affect the ego, and there is a possible relationship to, I know I saw that, that's why I saw this coming up, but we'll get to the relationship later. Let's focus on this one first. So and again, I don't mean ego as in like, please don't think of it as like being up yourself or whatever, but it's like the human things. It's like this is something that you're doing now, and it's how can I make this an adventure? How can I make this mean more than what I feel it is? Because I feel like sometimes when you're like doing the same thing over and over again and you're doing it for somebody else, we forget about ourselves. And of course you still want to make it about yourself. You know, you are important. You do need to be seen. You want to be recognized for the work that you're putting in, right? And nobody sees that. So how can you make it important for yourself where you feel good about yourself by the end of the day, where you feel seen, valued? I don't know if you want to maybe start posting online about it. I don't know if it's something that you can tell a story about or create a story out of it. Like, it doesn't have to just be that. If you're taking care of your son, I'm assuming your son might be, I don't know, might have special needs, or I'm not sure what the story is, but you could write a book about it. You could write a song about it. I know that you have a lot of music, right? So, what is it that you can do to help yourself make this also about you and not just about him, or not just about that thing, and become of service? How can you help other people through this? And then it says go for it. So I think, there's just things that you just got to start trying differently. You're stuck in this cycle, you're stuck in this like routine. And I think it's just time for you to go for it. It's time for you to go and try something different, to just step out a little bit of your comfort zones, figure out what it could be. You don't have to have the answer right now. But the point is, it's time to just sort of like create some kind of a change, because I think it's just become a bit stale. Assertiveness. This situation can be healed gently and with love, as you've requested, yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you strength and guiding your words. So don't be afraid to speak the truth. Don't be afraid to put your foot down. Don't be afraid to say what you want as well. That's the most important thing. Now, relationship. So there's a relationship. So there's possible relationship too, if I could just find the courage and the right words to say. Well, it's funny how we just got the assertiveness, right? So I think that was more also about that, right? So you got the relationship and the assertiveness. So it's pretty clear, like truthfulness with the other person involved. So also need for your strength and truthfulness. Yeah, so I'm not sure what you were afraid to say, but they're encouraging you basically to speak your truth. And it doesn't have to be like scary or anything like that. It's just speaking your truth should feel natural, should yeah, of course, sometimes, when it's involving other people, we get nervous and all that sort of stuff. But what it's really saying here, it's like, when we speak our truth, it's empowering, and it's your truth, it's you, it's your energy. But I do see a possibility of it, so it's definitely there. So I don't see anything else further than this, Hannah. So maybe ask me a few more questions as to what else I can help you with or guide you with it. Maybe about the relationship. I'm not quite sure. She's typing, by the way, guys. I'll do the elevator music in the meantime. Yeah, because I feel like maybe you want to know more, but I'm not sure how I can guide you through that. So I don't know if you want to know more about the relationship or what's up. What's popping? I hear that. I like yawning. People always look at me whenever I yawn. They're like, "Don't do that." Then I yawn. I'm like, "Isn't it the best thing to yawn?" I feel like it's like you release all that tension. You feel more relaxed. Why wouldn't you want to yawn? Why are you two still fighting? These two are about to just get to battle royale. What are you guys fighting over? What happened? Jeez. I feel like I don't get enough sleep to get through the days. I'm also not sure if the other person has the same feelings as me. Ah, okay, I see. That's why you're questioning. Yeah, but that's why you gotta make it more of a joyful thing, my love, because it's like, it's draining, you know? Oh, you still, you're slow at typing. That's okay. I mean, and again, you don't have to tell the person, like, hey, I like you and do you like me? It can also just be about, like, letting them know that you're a little bit more interested and letting them, give hints, but being honest about it at the same time, like, not, you know, hiding away. And rejection's normal. Like if we get rejected, so what? You know, I get rejected a lot. I used to get rejected a lot. Um, but you know, it's okay. So the world, a very happy ending, coming to full circle, spiritual growth and insights. You got three major arcanas. Leap of faith. Believe in yourself, listen to your heart, do what brings you joy. And the chariot, determined and self-control, career advancement, acknowledged of success by others. So I feel like honestly, you know, whether this person is interested in you or not, it's not even about that. It's about bringing more excitement to your life, Hannah. I think again, I feel like you're in just stuck this routine, and you want more excitement in your life. I think you just want, you know, out of that stagnation. Sorry guys, I'm having a hard time breathing sometimes when I do readings. Lately I've been feeling like my chest tights up. I don't know why. Um and you know, so if this brings a little bit more joy, then let it be that, you know. But the sleep thing, I feel like, you know, again, I feel like you need to change something. There's something in your routine that isn't like, that isn't working out for you. And I think this is also why the sleep isn't very good, because number one, I'm sure you're busy and you know all that sort of stuff, but it's like it's needing some kind of a change from your end to basically break this. I think there's somebody in my house, guys. Give me 1 second. What? Okay, great. Maybe the ghost is back. Something got knocked over in the kitchen. Not creepy at all. Um, okay, so anyway, excuse me for the pause. My banana stand just fell over, knocked over a bottle. Kind of creepy. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not sure if this is making sense, Hannah, but I mean, I feel like you need to make some kind of a change. I feel like you're just stuck in this routine. You need a little bit more excitement. You need something for yourself to bring you that joy. But I do think that things are going to change. Things are going to move forward. Things are there's something happening. Um, Ryan, when my best friend you wants, I put my finger in his mouth. That's a good one. Carla, I have two kids with special needs. Oh, it's not easy to bring new people in when your bandwidth is always low. Yeah, I can only imagine. But the right person can recharge you. Oh, I love that. I hope it works out for you to have someone care for you. I have been trying to get out of the comfort zone a little bit lately. Well, that's probably what it means, you know, Hannah, because that comfort zone, what it does, it gives you comfort, right? But the problem with that, it doesn't activate any new energy. It just kind of puts you in the stagnation. So, and that's also can make you really tired as well, because you're just giving energy and you're not getting any energy back, and you need to receive some of that energy as well. So it's creating some kind of imbalance, and you know, you need to feel alive. You need to feel like your life has more meaning outside of that, you know, so the greater purpose again, or something to give you like that, something that makes life exciting again. And I think once you do that, it's going to bring a little bit more peace in your nervous system, as opposed to, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this and I have to do that. It's just too heavy. So does that make sense? That was creepy, by the way, downstairs. I'm like, I heard a huge. I'm like, is there somebody here? I'm like ready to like. Luckily, I can fight, but it's not the point. I don't want to be fighting somebody in my house because that would be creepy. Okay. We'll try to figure out what you can do, my love, but just don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about your own needs. Don't forget about needing to recharge your own energy, because there's only so much you can give, and then at some point you're going to burn out again. So you can't afford to do that either. It's not, so how can you bring that? And just ask, maybe before you go to sleep, give me some guidance, show me what else I can do. Start journaling, maybe. Try to find that little time that you get for yourself to connect to this purpose, to this intention. And this is something that I've been asking every morning myself, is like I stopped trying to like manifest things so much, and asking like the greater power, show me who I am, show me what my purpose is, show me why I'm here, because maybe there's something bigger that I don't see or don't understand. So I'm like willing to receive that. Okay, Hannah. Well, I wish you the best of luck. You got this, girl. I know you do. I know you're in tune. I know you tapped in. Okay, so Cecilia, hi, welcome. Nice to meet you. So what's your question? Yeah, that. Could you guys imagine you're at home by yourselves and then you hear like a bang downstairs and you're like, and you know, I'm like the person in the horror film, which is like, as opposed to running away, I'm like, ooh, let's go in there and let's find out what's happening. And then I get murdered, and people are like, well, we saw that one coming. Well, I mean, again, I'm a little too confident, I think, for I'm like, man, I will fight you. I will fight you, except if you have a gun, in which case I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna get shot, but I will fight you. I'm like, you broke into the wrong house, mate. I'm more cocky about it, but I think if I actually saw somebody, I don't know. I don't know. I'm all talk, probably. I'm all bark. I don't know, Carla. Again, I'm probably all talk. I'm overconfident. So, we'll find out. Well, hopefully not. I don't want it to happen. I'm not putting it out there, universe. I'm joking. Take the sense of humor. Okay. Cecilia, you still here, my love? Oh no, if they went after my animals, yeah, that's gonna be a battle royale. Yeah. Okay, so what's your question, my love? How can I help you? It's your turn. Yeah, but I always have these like creepy visions of like, ugh, okay, I'm not gonna go there. My mind just does not help me sometimes. That is why we've been having conversations lately. I'm like, we're not doing this. Yes, exactly. You're looking for guidance around love. Okay. I mean, I used to box, but I'm pretty sure now I'm not that good anymore. So, speaking of boxing, do you guys know the next fight between Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey's coming up? Just FYI, I cannot wait to see that. That's the only sport I ever get excited about. I'm like, you're teaching about Zenness and meditation. I'm like, by the way, you guys should really check out this MMA fight happening. Okay, so let's find out. Yeah, I'm voting for Gina though. I'm a big fan of Gina Carano. I love Gina, but I do respect either one that wins. I'm happy with, but I'm. Ooh, okay, girl, you got some good cards coming out. So I don't know if you are in a relationship or you're dating or you're wanting to find somebody, but someone's coming. Oh, you did. She went to school with Ronda Rousey's sister. Hey, this is beautiful. Okay, so if you're looking for confirmation of a new relationship or something, it's there. Okay, so literally the first card that came up. I felt like you were single, but I don't want to always assume, because sometimes I get energies confused. So somebody's coming in. Committed romantic relationship, being swept off your feet situation, a topic that makes your heart flatter. Literally, he's coming. Like, literally on a horse. Okay? Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspired success. Positive new emotional experience. Fulfilled romantic relationship. Deep and lasting spiritual insight. So first thing is first, I'm going to show you one of my courses that I do recommend you should do. Here we go. I literally have a course on how to attract your soulmate. Just something that you can do in the meantime as this is coming into your reality. I just pinned it there, so hopefully you guys can see it. But what I'm hearing here essentially is that, yes, there's somebody coming in for you. So you already manifested it. So it's going to happen. It feels like this is going to be a good relationship. I don't feel like it's going to be a negative one at all. I think it's a positive experience. I think this is something that you've wanted for quite some time. I think you've been asking for this for quite some time. You know, we've all kissed a lot of frogs before we get to the prince. And I think I feel like he's a bit young in the sense of like energy wise. He's not so much of an older soul, but I feel like he's got a good intentions and he really does care. And I love the fact this says committed romantic relationship because I think that's possibly what you're looking for. So, you know, dating and all this sort of stuff. What I will suggest here, obviously do the course because this is going to help you manifest and just set your intentions very clearly, because when we're attracting this energy, we want to be very clear. If I could give my younger self advice on manifesting love, and this is because I manifested love, by the way, and these are the things that I did. Just in time, Tim. Of course you are. This is something that you need to hear, right? I think you really got to know yourself first and foremost, Cecilia. So one of the most important things is that, you know, obviously when we're young, we don't know ourselves very well. We think we want this, we think we want that. And then as we get older, we really get to know ourselves and who we are, our boundaries, what we like. But most importantly, the most important thing when it comes to manifesting love, and I'll say this until the cows come home. This isn't a trained saying, by the way. You really got to know what you need from a partner. Not the wants, the needs. The needs are, I need somebody who is honest. I need somebody who prioritizes me. I need somebody whose love language is whatever. You know, for me, it was quality time. Quality time is extremely important for me. I needed somebody who was consistent. I needed somebody who was stable. I needed somebody who had a good relationship with their family. I needed somebody. So these are things that I needed from a partner. Now, whether they're good looking, whether they're rich and famous, whether they have a nice car, those are wants. Those are things that change. Those things that can be taken away. The needs are things that are solid. They're the foundation. This is the person they're going to be until the day they die, hopefully. So in this situation, I'm feeling just be very clear about what you need, because this manifestation's happening. You've aligned with it, but you've got to be very crystal clear about the needs, because then when you see it in the person, you recognize it. When I did that, I had to break certain cycles, however, because in the past, I was always attracted to a certain type of person, which was never the right person for me. I was attracted to my trauma, if that's the best way to put it. So I kept recreating my trauma. And once I recognized that, and I went after what I needed, when I met my husband, I was friends with him for 3 years before we actually even dated, but I suddenly realized that he had all of my needs. And I was like, well, I might as well just try this. And then, of course, now we've been married for 3 years, I think. So we were friends for 3 years. We dated for a couple of years, you know, so we've known each other for a long time. But this is, for me, that was so important. So, but I can only tell you that there's somebody coming for sure. So if there's anything else that you want to know more in depth about it, because the cards have been pretty direct. They were like, yep, come in. You've asked for it. Here it is. But if there's something that you want to heal about your past or anything, just let me know. We can dive into that. Or if you're happy with this, I mean, sometimes it's just good just to know. You know, it's just confirmation. Hey guys, welcome. I see a few faces popping in there. Tim, did you do my course on Attract Your Soulmate? I am yawning today. So let me know if there's anything else, Cecilia, that you want help with. Thank you. I'm just wondering if I should wait for them to make a move or just wait. When it's right, you don't need to do anything, but let's see if we can dive a little bit deeper with this one. Again, an example is with my husband. We were friends for 3 years. Okay. Um, before I even, and it's because it was the right time and it felt right and it just made sense. So I feel like sometimes it's like when I mean, it depends. If it feels like it's going to be forced, then I would not do it in general. But let's see. I don't know if it's this person. It could be somebody else, to be quite honest, Cecilia. So I would just relax and just like let things happen. Business and adventure, important documents or contracts. So I feel like this person that's coming in, the one that you really want, is a soul contract. So it's one of those things that you can't mess it up, even if you try to mess it up. So I don't feel like it's forced. And then, it's like, see, it's the Two of Cups there. It's like, this is like same energy. It's just like easy. It's not, it doesn't require force. It doesn't require trying. It doesn't require anything. It just kind of happens. And yeah, just enjoy the journey of it. I feel like this is not something that you can even like, again, when it's meant to be, it's not something that you can mess up. How do people make a movie in 2026? Things have changed so much since I last dated someone. Oh, how to make a movie. I thought movie. I was like, oh, my acting brain just kicked in, by the way. I mean, I feel like, you just got to put yourself out there. But for instance, with my husband, he reached out to me on Instagram and he invited me to go and see a show at the Viper Room. And I just got into LA and I was like, anybody who invites me to the Viper Room, I'm going to go. And I took my roommate because I didn't know this guy. So I was like, you want to come to see a show? And he was like, yeah. So that's how it happened. But then he kept inviting me to things after I met him and I felt comfortable and I would just go. I mean, I just went with no expectation. Um, Okay, good, Cecilia. Yeah, just trust that it's gonna happen in its own time. So it's again, when it's right, guys, it really isn't forced. I mean, my husband maybe because he's so socially awkward and he was terrible, bless him. But again, I wasn't attracted to him when I met him. I was not attracted to him at all. Now of course I am attracted to him. I'm obsessed with him. But at the time, I was just like, not my type, not interested. No, you know. Um, but again, if it's right, then things just happen. It just shifts, and I was just like, I'm gonna give this a go. Hannah, you have a lot of it is digital now. Okay, I see what you mean. I don't think it's right to put all their energy in the digital space. Just gonna take some swings and have the mindset that embarrassment is an underexplored emotional to learn from. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Hannah as well for you, for instance, is like, what are your passions? If I was to date again now, what I would do if I was really wanted to meet people, I wouldn't go to bars. I definitely wouldn't go to clubs to meet people. I would think of something that I'm passionate about and I would start doing classes. Like, I'm an actor, I would go to acting classes. If I'm a painter, I would go and do painting classes. Like, there has to, I mean, I know maybe for you time wise it's maybe a bit challenging, but with your son, maybe take him somewhere where maybe there's another parent who's single who also has is this very similar situation as you, can be very understanding. But this is the requirement of putting ourselves out there and doing things for ourselves first that can lead to that connection. I mean, for me, he found me online, but I think it's also, again, like, be on the dating apps for sure, be open to that, but also be willing to go to places that you love where you can meet people, where it makes more sense. Tim, I have ASD and find the digital world really filters the emotions out of conversations too much. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, what do you love doing? Like, I know you love music, right? So what if you did some music course, or I don't know, these are the things that we would have to do, and also just do the manifestation work and really start loving yourself and creating a better relationship with yourself and affirmations and all that sort of stuff. And then also let go, and say, if it's meant for me, it'll come. And if it's not, because that attachment as well can sometimes push it away. Shannon, yeah, sure. What's your question, my love? I'd be happy to pull a card for you. So yeah. That's what I would do if I was gonna. Also, when I met my husband, I have to be really honest, I didn't care anymore about dating. I wasn't looking. I gotten to the point where I was just so happy with myself that I was like, don't care if I meet someone, and if I do, great. If I don't, that's okay too. And sometimes, sorry guys, I've been yawning a lot today. And sometimes that's the best place to be, right? Because you're so content, and that's very attractive to some people because you don't need anything. It's that wholeness, that whole energy that really can bring about that. But I was desperado before that. For those of you who know my story, I've always been super desperado. So I did a big shift. Dealing with an ongoing health issue and just trying to find guidance since I'm really feeling all consumed from it. Oh, I'm sorry, Shannon. Okay, let's see what comes through. Because I think that you guys have to remember, it's like, as well, I teach you a lot about that in this course. It's like I really do believe that relationships are a reflection of the relationship that we have with ourselves. And so when you heal the relationship with yourself, you create a healed relationship. um, you create a harmonious relationship with somebody on the outside, and that can still change, by the way. It's not like everything is like guaranteed and stable, but you know um, that to me was very a aha moment that I realized. And when I created that peaceful relationship with myself where I was no longer escaping all the time and I was in a peaceful place with myself, it was awesome. Okay, so the first card that you got is balance. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing, a very happy family life, financial security, financial magic, just the little things in life, falling in love with the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, hands intuition, a new home, and then you got the dreamer, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Okay, so I don't feel like the messages themselves have much to do, but I feel like, except for the first one. So obviously, when there is health issues, Shannon, there's some kind of imbalance happening. Usually, and again, this is not to blame ourselves that the health stuff is happening, but this can also create that kind of cycle and loop where we're feeling like shit, we feel out of control, and then our thoughts start creating these negative patterns and cycles. Like you said, you feel like it's consuming your time and energy, right? And you, but most importantly, it's your inner world that's the most important thing, which then of course creates the frequency, and then you create your reality through that. So in order to change your reality, you have to change your personality, and this includes also with our health. Your personal reality is made up of the way how you think and feel, which creates the actions taken. So when you want to change your external reality, you have to change your personality, which means you have to change the way that you first think, which changes the way that you feel, and which changes the cycle on the outside. So you're stuck in this loop, I feel. You're stuck in this cycled loop where you probably, it's very subconscious. You're not even really aware of the fact that you're in this like never ending loop, but you're feeling it by feeling consumed by it because your energy is just stagnant and stuck. So restoring balance means this might require some kind of a change. I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but this is a practice that I've been doing with myself lately, and it's been a very powerful one where I've been speaking to my mind, literally. I have a pattern. My pattern is negative thinking. I will wake up with like just messed up thoughts. It's just how my brain does it. I think it's just trying to protect me from I don't know what. And so it just goes down a loophole of like terrible, tragic thoughts. It's not very pleasant. It's not a nice way to wake up. So what I started doing is I speak to my mind directly and I say, hey, mind, can you not think this right now? I would appreciate it if you could think something that makes me feel good. So first and foremost, I address it. Second of all, I ask it and tell it what I would like to feel and think. When I do that, that tension releases. So you could notice yourself in the cycle and you could say to yourself, hey, mind, I notice that I'm in this cycle. Can you break this cycle and make me feel something that can help my health right now and restore some balance? And just notice the mind relaxing a little bit more. So family came up as well. So I'm not sure. I feel like this is something, I don't know if it was in your family, it's something that was like passed down by family or was caused by family. Yes, I'm constantly scared I will never heal, self conscious, reaching and trying to fix and obsessed with finding a solution. Yeah. Okay. So, again, you got to change that conversation, Shannon, because that conversation is just like the doomsday kind of thing, and just recreating it is like, it just, yeah, it just keeps creating that loop. So just changing the conversation is the first step. But the next thing, I don't know what this is, but I feel like it's either passed down by family or it's connected to some kind of trauma to do with family. So there needs to be some forgiveness, and again, forgiveness, I hate saying this one because forgiveness is a tricky one because you can't force forgiveness for yourself or for others. Oftentimes certain issues with the body can manifest due to traumas or emotional blocks, and I really personally believe this. I don't know if this is something that you believe, but I really do believe that, and this is the shitty thing, right, is because it feels like I can fix it, right, but then at the same time it's a lot more complicated sometimes. So I do feel like there's something there with the family or something. So again, you could do some ancestral work where you call your ancestors to assist you with this, to help you, to guide you, to give you some healing, some emotional things, maybe releasing some contracts from the family. But forgiveness is something that's like healing the heart. I wouldn't even say forgiveness. It's like healing the heart, healing the wounds of the heart. I think it's going to help you a lot with the situation, being kinder to yourself, being gentler to yourself, and giving yourself the love, the care, and the nurturing that you might have not gotten from other people that you needed through this time, the understanding. So it's almost like reparenting yourself, reloving yourself, becoming your healer, your inner healer, awakening your inner healer. Whenever I'm sick, which it doesn't happen luckily very often, but I really embrace it and I allow it just to be what it is and I let myself be in it. I know a lot of people when they get sick, they really resist it. They're like, "Oh, I'm sick," and this, and that. And of course, listen, I'm not trying to say that that's what you're doing. I can't imagine what it's like to have something chronic or consistent or scary. But I know for myself, that's just something that I do because then I can sleep and I can just take more time off or whatever. So the resistance as well can be a lot of the reasons why this can prolong or create more tension. So it's like, how can I accept this and use this to help me heal and go with it and allow it to guide me towards my healing, create a relationship with it as opposed to allow it to be my enemy. Easier said than done, Shannon. I know. Again, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing here, so I hope it makes sense. The next thing is like, cut my finger. Um, So you gotta make some sort of like shift, internal and external here. I feel like this you're just very a little bit down, to be quite honest. I'm feeling like some kind of depression even. Um, so what I hear here is a new home, and a new home can mean internal and external. So it's like reshifting the relationship again with yourself. You got to change this relationship that you have with yourself is the most important thing. Not being your enemy anymore and becoming your hero, your healer, your best friend. So doing, exercises every morning that are the loving and gentle and kind and supportive towards yourself. You hear stories about people healing themselves. There was one beautiful story that I heard. This guy cured himself from cancer by watching comedy and laughing and bringing back that joy into his life, right? Again, these are things that I think really are the key to the solution to it, but it depends on, of course, how much pain you're suffering and all this sort of stuff. But I feel like it's also like your home outside is reflecting this suffering. It's almost like a cage or this heaviness around you. So you got to shift dimensions. You got to start quantum leaping. You got to start doing some work to, I know I'm stuck here and this is my reality, but how can I make this reality something else? So it's almost like rebuilding this inner existence, this inner world that is now doom and gloom into something that can become an adventure, that can become an exciting exploration, without expecting anything on the outcome. So it's like the dreamer, right? That's the final card that you got. And you see how he's stepping almost through like a portal, and he's stepping through into a whole new way of seeing his reality. So allowing the beauty, the fantasy, the whatever it is that you've got to do to make this the best experience possible. And I will say, by the way, with people with depression, I know how bad it can be because I suffered from crippling depression and anxiety. Not anymore, but when I was very young, that's why I can teach the things that I do now. And I really just worked with my mind and with my thoughts. That was the most important thing. And like I said, even now in the morning when I wake up, my old programming still shows up. It's like, hey, do you remember when you used to like say this to yourself? And it's like, because you can't rewire, you can't undo the old wires, but you can only override them with new ones. So I still show up for myself now. I don't abandon myself. I will fight for myself. I will stand up for myself because I wanted to out myself. I didn't want to be here anymore. So I made a choice to commit to life. And at any given point, you are either committed to the illness or committed to the healing. You're always just committed to one or the other. And so sometimes this is something that you can ask yourself, is like, what am I committed to right now? And if you notice that you're committed to this one, then shift it to that one. And that's what I constantly ask myself, is like, what am I committed to? I'm either committed to the pain or to the joy. So I choose, when I want to choose the joy, I do things like, okay, mind, let's work. I don't want you to think this. This is what I want you to start thinking. And you'll see your mind will start working with you because it wants to serve you. It doesn't want to go against you. It's just using the tools that it knows and that it's given as a default mechanism. But you actually do have a lot more power in shifting that. And it's not easy, but it's doable. So you just got to figure out, Shannon, what that is for you. What is that thing that you can do every single day, every single moment, every single minute if you need to get you out of that loop, to break the cycle and to start changing that mechanism so you can start upgrading your mind and getting you out of that funk, because that's the first thing that you got to work on. You can't heal yourself if you're feeling like shit, especially internally, right? Especially emotionally. So there has to be some kind of shift there. So start with the mind, start with your thoughts, I do affirmations still to this day, every single day. Why? Because I'm naturally a depressed person. I mean, I wasn't born depressed, but I became very depressed. Hey, Silverback. So when I do the work, I notice when I don't do my affirmations, I feel a little bit heavier. So now I'm doing affirmations again. I do mirror work lately. I've been doing this new conversation with my mind. Every morning I have a conversation with a higher power. If that's what it takes to give me a better day and a more blessed day, I will do it. So in what ways, Shannon, do you abandon yourself and you think about it but you don't do the work? And I know when you're depressed, it's hard. I've been there. You know how bad I wanted it? I used to roll on the floor, like, because I couldn't move. I was so depressed that I would just was like a sack potato, and I was addicted to all sorts of crazy things. So I would just roll and just slam onto the ground, and that would make me get up, and then I would go for a walk, and then that I knew would get me from down here to a little bit here, and then from here I could do the little bit of work. But once I started doing the work, it worked, and there's always work to do, but you got to show up for yourself. You got to stop abandoning yourself. Oh, you're so welcome, Shannon. Oh, you're so sweet, Silverback. I appreciate you. Always a ray of light. A ray of light with a pint. I feel like I see you like a leprechaun with like a little pint. Okay, so guys, any more questions before we close out today? Unless people want like a quicker reading just now, feel free to ask a question. If not, you can just ask me a question as well. That's always welcome, just about spirituality or anything else. Feel free. We've got this time before we close out. I'm going to go and do things, fabulous things. I'm going to take over the world with my guinea pigs. This is like dead, and I'm still like trying to get like the last of it. I'm like, even with my nail. Hey, Ella. How you doing? I think I should throw this away. It's dead. I would like to scrape it out. I'm good, thank you. Thank you. So I'm just offering anybody else who would like me to pull a card for them, just a quick card, because we've already been here for almost 2 hours. 2 hours, man. Sure. Do you have a specific question or just a card? Sure, Bree. So we have Ella, Bindi, sorry. My reading skills today are on point, y'all. 128 people in the house. I wonder if Inside Time ever watches these and they're just like, just like, is she? They probably do. Okay, so I'll just pull a card. Intention of life purpose. Oh, okay. This one's hot. Man, these cards are hot today. Whee! Don't hit your head again. I did that last time and I hit my head. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Okay. Team Peanut. Oh, my Peanut. I love him so much. I'm going to get one more card here because I feel like this is kind of vague. So, I mean, I feel like... Oh, that one flipped over. Very cool. Then you got good news. Public recognition is on its way. So I'm not quite sure what specific, but I do feel like you have obviously some sort of spiritual gift here. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. So I don't know if these are like encompassing your personality. I still feel like though you're still trying to obviously figure it out. I feel like you're still like in the journey of like putting the pieces together and like really understand where the road goes, But I feel like you have multiple things here that that it's like, okay, I know that these are my gifts. I know there's things that I want to do. But good news is public recognition or awards. So I don't know if this is something, I feel like whatever you want to do or whatever your life purpose is something to do with like being out there and working with people. It could even be social media. It could be a business kind of idea, but it's something involving other people and working with other people, or at least with the public. Um, um, and I feel like there's a possibility there's some kind of partnership possibly moving forward with this. So there could be like multiple, like you might need somebody to help you with it. Um, but is this resonating, Ella? Okay, good. I think it's just if this is the stuff that you were like, it's just confirmation that yes, you're on the right path. Like all these things, if they are making sense, then they're saying yes, you're on track, girl. Bindi. Let's see what card you get. Bindi. Such an Australian name. Are you Australian? Just thinking because of Steve Irwin's daughter, her name is Bindi. Do you also know what a bindi is? Like in Australia, bindis are like these little shells that they actually really hurt. Like if you step on them, they have like spikes, and then we call them. Okay, good, you're Australian. I thought so. I was like, she must be Australian because it's like an excellent opportunity will be offered to you: scholarship or pursuit of education. Time to get to work. So there's some kind of offer that's coming for you, whether it's for a job or whether it's for you to go back to study or whether it's for you to learn more. Essentially, this card really means it's like some kind of like up leveling and upgrading, but it's also like an opportunity will be offered to you, Bindi. So it could be like it could be a job offer, like I said, or an offer of study, or, but essentially, if this does show up, just go for it. This is part of the journey. This is the thing that's going to lead you. It could even just be like, it might, sometimes when we get this card, we think, oh, I'm going to get like a job offer or whatever. It could be that, but it could also mean somebody like suggesting something. Hey, you should really do this course, or hey, maybe you should look into this thing. So, whatever it is that's going to help you grow, um, and learn more, that's the card saying go for it, because it's going to lead you towards the next step where you need to go, the next phase of your life to grow, whatever it is. So that's pretty straightforward. And it's also like, don't be afraid to want to learn more and to expand that, because it's going to get you to the next step, basically. It's always about the next step. Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, guys, let me just check something. I don't care about that. Cool. Sweet, man. All right, any more questions, guys? Feel free to ask, even just about spirituality, like I said, or anything else. I'm always happy to answer that. And if not, we can always close out with a quick meditation. So let me know how we feel. I've been doing that lately. I feel like it's always nice. You'd like a carpool tin. Okay. Let's see what comes out for you. Emperor. Masculine influence. Power. Okay, so what I'm hearing here essentially is that either I feel like you're moving into your masculine energy. I think there's some shift happening in you. I think you're very you have a lot of feminine energy in the sense of like you've got this like softness and light about you, which is a beautiful thing, by the way, for men to have. My husband has got a lot of feminine energy. I'm definitely a lot more masculine than my husband. But having said that, he holds his masculine energy in different ways than I do. Okay, so making that very clear. But I feel like you're tuning more into, you're starting to feel safe. Yeah, but I think that you're starting to feel a little bit more safer in the masculine. Oftentimes, guys who are also more feminine or have the more, and again, I don't mean feminine as in like you dress feminine and you act feminine. I mean they just have a softer energy, like a creative energy or more flow energy. They can often be wounded by a masculine. So if I look at my husband's relationship with his father, like my husband is a champ with how he handles his relationships. He's incredible. I need to take example for him. But he's been very wounded by some of the masculine energies. Like he got bullied a lot when he was younger, and his dad is like a real man, and I think he went very opposite to that, because sometimes we go the opposite direction, right? Um, but when he is in his masculine, he's so powerful, and he does it again in different ways. Like he really loves to make sure that I'm okay, that I'm in, however he shows up. So the point that I'm trying to make here, Tim, is that look at the ways that you've been wounded by the masculine. It could even just be the society of the way that men are portrayed. You can't have feelings, you can't cry, you can't, whatever the story is, right? And reclaim that, because that's not the truth. That is what has been told. True masculine energy is really somebody who creates a safe environment for those around them, whether it is through softness or lightness or whatever. But the point that I'm trying to hear here is that you need to rebuild that masculine relationship and see it as a safe space, no longer as like something that is like damaging or toxic. Because we always hear about toxic masculinity, right? It's like toxic masculinity is really men who have like no understanding of what a man is. That's why it's toxic. Because if it's balanced and if it's in truth, it will always be powerful and strong and beautiful. So, but again, it's the same way how women don't feel safe around the masculine energy. A lot of guys don't either, because they don't know what that is. They don't have a good example of what that is. They don't have somebody who's showing them what a real man, what that real energy is like. And so it's just everybody's kind of guessing at this point. But that doesn't mean that you should be afraid of it, or that, and that's something that I'm encouraging my husband a lot to do as well. There was a group of men, that there was like a men's gathering that I wanted him really to go and join, because I thought it would be such a great place for you to like be around that masculine. But he just so rejects it. He's just like, no. I'm like, okay, you do you, boo. But I think it's important to have that, and to redefine what that is and re-establish what that is, especially, Tim, because you want to attract a relationship, right? So, you know, and I feel like you would do probably better with maybe a softer kind of feminine energy. I'm a very strong, opinionated, tough, you know, energy. I have a lot of feminine, but I also have a lot of masculine energy. So it takes a certain type of person to be able to handle that. Um, so I definitely had a very strong father figure and mother figure growing up. So I feel comfortable in both energies. I feel like the black sheep in my hometown, though, grew up with very manly men's type, yeah, small Idaho town. And I just wanted not to be there anymore. I started going to men's groups earlier this year. I love that. And it's been so helpful. Also, I've been trying to inspire friends from my dance group to join my salsa dance group and vice versa. Even got some people in my men's group to go to my. Oh, I love that, dude. See, but that's the thing that I'm talking about, right? So, a man who's secure within their feminine and their masculine is very powerful, and you're leading people, Tim. That's you becoming the leader, the emperor, right? So, I'm just hearing there's some healing around that. Not a lot for you, but like with my husband, there's still more to do. But like when you become this leader, you're like inspiring other people and showing them like this is the real balance, right? We all have masculine and feminine energy in there, but if we reject one more than the other, so I can reject a lot of the feminine because I've been abused a lot when I was little. So when I embrace my feminine, I feel like I'm just a magnet for predators. So obviously I've rejected that and I've decided to be more masculine in the sense of I repulse the other energy because I'm like, no, no, no. Like I just said, I will take down a person in my house. I also have committed to learning to lead salsa dancing. I love this. And it's been a year of salsa class of the year. Okay, so what I'm hearing here, Tim, is that this is making a lot of sense. You're starting to become the leader. You're starting to lead yourself. You're starting to take these positions of power, and that's a masculine energy. Not that a woman can't be in power. Again, I'm not saying that, guys, but for him, this is a big thing. So I love this for you, and I think you're starting to really be more of who you are and understanding that you have a lot of leadership skills, and this is a very masculine energy. Like you're number one. The number one in numerology is the masculine energy, and it's the leader, it's the initiator, it's the one that takes the group and leads them forward. And so I love that for you, dude. So I feel like there's some empowerment here happening. But again, just look at the things that maybe you've had some challenges with and release those and reestablish the relationship with that and just continue to do what you're doing because I think it's great. You're doing some very powerful work and I love that. We love a good leader, man. And we need a balanced leader, you know. You're so cute. All right. Cool, guys. Any more questions? Itchy nose. Good night. You still have a headache, Ines. I'm sorry. That's not good. Well, I hope you feel better. Sending you some good energy. Okay, so let's do a very quick energetic reset before we leave so we can all feel a little bit lighter and connected. So if you guys want to join me, feel free. If not, that's totally fine. You can also, even if you're doing things, you'll hopefully feel the energy. So whenever you're ready, if you can, close your eyes and just take a moment to listen. Connect to your breath. Listen to your heartbeat if you can, to the temperature of your body. And just becoming aware of your surroundings for a minute, the energies around you, the walls around you, the space around you. And then slowly, slowly dissolving that reality, allowing it to fade away as you bring that attention and focus within you, beginning to feel your energy. If you could see your energy, your aura right now, what does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? And if there is some negative attachments or anything like that, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. And whenever you're ready now, I want you to say in your mind or out loud, I call forth the energy, the power, and the essence of my higher self. And I invite this frequency now to shine upon me, to release, let go, and heal anything and all that is holding me back, weighing me down. I activate my highest frequency so that I align with my highest purpose and energy. I I declare this so, and so it is, and so it shall be for the highest and greatest good of all. And now I want you to just picture this beautiful light above you, beautiful, pure, celestial energy just shining down upon your body. And as it moves down your body, it washes away anything and all that is of a lower frequency, that is not welcome, literally destroying, evaporating, and releasing anything and all that is dark and of a lower frequency. And just feeling yourself connect to this light as if you're tuning in and plugging in, feeling your energy expand, your aura crystal clear now, this beautiful glow of white light. And I accept this, I invite this, and I am grateful. And just taking a moment to feel this peace, this light, this connection. And just being in gratitude now as you begin to slowly, slowly bring yourself back into the space by opening your eyes and reconnecting. Welcome back. All right, everybody. So I hope you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more connected, and a little bit more at peace. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, for hanging out. It's so, so awesome that I'm always surprised that there's always people showing up, and I'm always so grateful. It's just such a beautiful community here, and I'm just grateful to meet you all and to share this space with you all, honestly. So, with that, I invite you all, of course, for those of you who are new, to follow me on Insight Timer. I have a ton of meditations, I'm talking hundreds at this point. I have some beautiful courses on there on manifesting, learning how to do numerology, how to, I don't know, speak to angels. I mean, you name it, it's on there. And yeah, and then I'm eventually going to start doing more videos as well. I know that Insight Timer now provides the videos, so I will get to that. I've just been super busy doing other things with my business. But once I'll get to that, you'll know. And that's it, guys. So I am just so honored and so grateful that you guys were here, spent your time and energy with me. I hope something came out of today that helped you, that guided you, that uplifted you. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. And the video meditations in Peanut Shell. Oh yeah, okay, I forgot about that. We got to do that too. Peanut's my dog. For those of you who know Peanut, he usually comes here and hangs out, and he steals the show because he's just a love bug, and all he wants is for me to hold him and kiss him, and he's just like this the whole time. So we were saying to make meditations with him and his face just the whole time, as he like pretending like he's leading the meditation or going into his Zen mode. It's a pretty good idea. Thank you for reminding me, Tim. I'll write it down. Peanut meditations. I think that'll do well on YouTube too. So, and yeah, check out my profile, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Thank you so much. And as always, have a magical day, guys. Sending you so much love. Bye.